Welcome, everyone, to Connected by Community, a podcast brought to you by Ballentine Capital Advisors, where we bring nonprofits, business, and other community interests to talk about our community and share with you what's going on. And today, we are going to talk about what's been going on with the podcast. I'm Bryan Ballentine. I'm joined by Anthony Colancheco and Cameron Cannon, all of us from Ballentine Capital Advisors. We have been your host as we have kicked off this podcast this year. And wanted to do a little reflection here at the end of the year and talk about next year and just share a little bit about what we've learned and a little bit about what we think going forward. So I'm going to jump right into it. And Anthony, I'm going to start with you. You've been on a number of these podcasts, and it's been an interesting thing. We've learned some things, had a little fun, and learned about some things going on in the community. So maybe share your top one or two best things that you learned or you've enjoyed this year with Connected by Community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think number one for me is being new to the area, getting to meet so many great individuals in the community by doing this podcast. But I think the one thing that I'm learning is there's so many passionate people in the community that really care on what they're doing. For example, Brandon Bennett, we had on our podcast, really cared about helping kids and what he's doing in the community. Such a happy, humble human being, and having all those individuals on here, you kind of see how great the community is, and I'm excited to continue this in the next couple of years.
Awesome. What about you, Cameron? What's your top maybe one or two thing, maybe something you learned or top one or two guests that you had on here you learned something from?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to piggyback off Anthony. I'm obviously from the Anderson area, but pretty new to Greenville. I just bought a house here. So kind of like he said, getting with COVID happening last year, kind of getting to know everybody. And, there's so many great things going on in this Greenville community. A lot of really, really good nonprofits, a lot of small businesses. And it's just been great hearing people's stories. Like Anthony said, everybody's really, really passionate, not only about the growth of their own business, but about the growth in the community. I've seen a lot of people really wanting to help people. You mentioned Brandon Bennett. One of the ones that I was on was Tanya Communis from A Child's Haven. I think what they're doing is just really great. I have some friends that are involved over there. And even when she was on the podcast, she teared up a little bit because you could really see that, what she was really talking about was coming from the heart. And I think that's a great thing about the Greenville community is not only that it's growing, but it's attracting a lot of really, really good people. And just excited to continue it, get to meet new people, and hear these inspiring stories. I feel like every time we leave here, we're in the car talking about how motivated we are to do good, and kind of it's a motivator for me, and I'm just really excited to be here and hear more about people and their stories.
Awesome. Well, that might be hard for me to top with both of those. So let me, I'm going to kind of go all the way back, and I guess first and foremost, one of the things we started this with, Moms on the Move. And what a great local podcast. If you guys don't follow that, follow them. And had them on as our inaugural guest, and just a fabulous podcast, and they do a great job. We do a little something different here. I don't think it has to be all moms, but certainly mom focused. We actually were the first guys, I think, on their show. So in kind of reflection, just a thank you for them for being here and allowing us there and all they're doing for the moms. And from that, we learned a lot of things. And I'm thinking it back in my head, and I'm getting to be older, but some lines that I somewhat remember. We had an estate planning attorney, and I think he was talking about Dave Ramsey, and it was something like the effect, if I could get my arms around him or neck or something, and we all had a giggle. We sometimes have love and affection for Mr. Ramsey, but some of his advice is too general, and it was really this estate planning attorney saying, be more customized, I think, in his really dry sense of humor way. So Mr. Anderson, thank you for that moment. I remember that. And then certainly the nonprofits from A Child's Haven to the Ronald McDonald House to Miracle Hill. And boy, the things that Miracle Hill and they're doing there, and the passion of these folks, and it makes us all want to be better folks. I think back to Abiding Peace Academy, really offering unique education for our schools here locally, and where maybe sometimes the public school can't always pick up a private school trying to offer special offerings. And then, you got Brandon Bennett coming in, and I learned a great line that I love that share with my kids. I think you are your own corporation, I think, and I might be butchering that. if whether you're a child or you're an adult, put the best foot forward, just a positive guy. Whether it's a new business, where it was our lovely guest we just had, that Mr. Cameron is engaged to making balloons and backdrops with the backdrop babes. So new businesses, things that have been around forever. I just the variety for me, as I sit here and kind of ramble on and give you all my thoughts. It's been a little bit about everything. We talk about connected by community, and we thought about it. It was supposed to be a little bit about everything. A little bit about business, a little bit about nonprofit, a little bit about motivation to keep interest. And I think with that, there's a lot more to share, right? And so we have all this has branched out, and I think we've gone back, and you're talking about riding in the car. Oh, we should get that person. This person will be great to come in because we've learned so much, right? And so it kind of gets you passionate more about the community and what I think we want to do. And boy, I want to be careful committing ourselves too much, right? So challenge us as an organization connected by community, and also Ballentine Capital Advisors for sponsoring this, is maybe we can do more next year. Maybe we can have more often, more guests, and do more good. There's a gentleman that I think we all like named Nick Murray that we in our business follow, and he's an older gentleman, but he says, you do good by doing good and helping others, you will be successful, is essentially what he says. I'm paraphrasing. To get paid by doing good. And I think not that we're trying to get paid here, but it is about connected by community is do good, and all else will work out. And I leave that for my children, leave that for the community, and so that's what I share. So I'm rambling at this point. Anything else you guys have learned or want to see maybe next year as we kind of sign off from this episode?
No, I mean, I agree with you completely. It's just, try to get more guests on here and commit us to doing more. Because like you said, I mean, we've been so inspired by everybody that we've had on. And I think there's a lot more in the community that, we've been talking about that we kind of have on the roster, as we like to say. So, I'm super excited for 2022 and to kind of see where this goes and kind of get even more motivated and, get everybody connected in the community, kind of like you're saying. So, just very, very exciting things upcoming.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'll just say if anybody's watching or listening and they want to be part of the community and get their what they're doing out there, we would love for you all to reach out to us, and we would love to have you on the podcast.
Awesome. Well, that's kind of a great point to end. So, if you want to reach out to us, find us on various social media platforms. We look forward to a great 2022 and connected by the community. Until we see you again, go out and make our community great.